I hope this finds you well. We hear the term probable cause used a lot, but what does it actually mean? Probable cause can be defined as more probable than not. So for example, if an officer says he has probable cause to search your backpack, what he's really saying is that it's more likely than not that you have something illegal in your bag. Of course, the officer must be able to articulate facts as to why he has probable cause. Otherwise, he's operating on a hunch or a reasonable suspicion. Here's how a hunch and a reasonable suspicion compare to probable cause. You can think about it in levels. First, there's a hunch. It's kind of like spidey sense. Then there's a reasonable suspicion, which doesn't have a clear definition, but it is a lower standard than probable cause. Reasonable suspicion, for example, is all that is needed to stop a vehicle. The officer can pull you over if they have reasonable suspicion that criminal activity is afoot. Likewise, a reasonable suspicion is all that is needed for an investigatory stop, also known as a Terry stop or stop and frisk, which is a form of seizure. Finally, after probable cause comes beyond a reasonable doubt. Beyond a reasonable doubt is the standard required to convict an individual of a crime. So why is probable cause so important? It's important because probable cause is the standard required for the invasion of your Fourth Amendment right to be free from search and seizure. Of course, as with most laws, there are exceptions. One of those exceptions is consent. If an individual gives consent to a search or a seizure, then the determination of probable cause is irrelevant. I should mention that you have a constitutional right to refuse to give consent though, and that refusal does not mean that you won't be searched, but it may become very important if the search is later invalidated, meaning the search was unreasonable. An example is the best way to convey what I mean here. Let's say a cop says, "Can I search your bag?" If you refuse to give consent to the search of your backpack and the police search it anyway, their search may be found to have been illegal or unreasonable, and your refusal then makes it more likely than not, pun intended, that the items found in your backpack will not be admitted as evidence against you, barring an exception, of course. We will examine more of these exceptions and case law in later videos, but for now, do check out my exceptions to the warrant requirement video. One more note about consent. Your refusal to give consent does not create probable cause. So in sum, probable cause is more than a reasonable suspicion and less than beyond a reasonable doubt. It is the greater of probability or possibility that the fruits, evidence, or instruments of a crime exist. Thanks for watching.